Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Tuesday, I think, and happy 1st of July. Um, Today made $300, 74 cents. Solid day. And I feel comfortable, but also uncomfortable. There is an update I'm going to make to my strategy. Spent all day yesterday working on hotkeys to sort of prepare for situations, but I think the first entry that I have is too much risk given the profit. I think 1 to 4 is a little too much, and I might switch it to 1 to 3. That way, I could have a little bit more profits, assuming my first entry is right. And these last few days, out of the say 7 trades I took, and this is a small sample size, but I do think as I'm increasingly becoming more patient, I won't run into these situations where I will be entering frequently more than 2 times. And I hope that's the case. And in those cases, I should be risking more and having a tighter stop because it's too high and my take profit is. It makes sense. My take profit makes sense, but my stop is too high to where I can't risk as much as I might want to. Anyways, let's go through the trades for today. So first I took, well, not first, let's see. First I took TRNR, looks like. This one I was a little bit worried about because I took it pre-market. This has a history of going up pretty high. It is a low float. It had 1 million shares of float, and you'll see in the volume here, the volume was pretty high, and at this point there was half of the float traded in one candle. Um, but I was playing the pre-market breakout with low volume. So we had this huge candle here. It pulled back. I was trying to actually enter on the second candle, but it popped out. It didn't it didn't stay in. Okay. Jesus Christ. My scanner is delayed. So I didn't see it when it was initially popping up. By the time it popped up on my scanner, we were already in this candle where it was halfway down. So then I was just keeping a watch on it until it came back up. It comes back up, and I'm watching the breakout to see if it squeezes up really far, and it didn't. So at first, 11.5 was showing resistance. It broke above 12, and then that was showing resistance. So I got in at 12.16. And the risk here was pretty high. Um, I got out quickly. I think, let's see, 74 shares. I can't remember if I did entry one or entry two in this situation, like how much size I used. I think it was entry one, and it just collapsed pretty quickly. But it looks like 12, 12.1. It looks like I took like 1.5 ATRs there, so I can't remember if I did um, to my first entry where I'm risking 4 ATRs or my second where I'm risking three. Um, but but yeah, this one sold off quickly and made $117 there. I don't think I took this again. I'm honestly surprised I made that much. I think it's because the ATR that I risked was lower. Like I guess I was risking like an ATR that was one, but it was actually like 1.5 or something. Um, Anyways, the math isn't really mathing. I don't know how I made as much as I did, but I did. Um, Next we have VVOS. I think this was the one I was a little chicken. Yeah, I took a loss on this one. Literally same strategy as TRNR. I was just chicken. After a win like TRNR, in my mind, I was like, I really don't want this to be a loss. And for some reason, I was so worried it would be a loss. But I played it just like I played everything else. I was risking pretty high. So I was risking, I think, $150, which is why I don't want to be in the. I might adjust that. Um, so yeah, I mean the fact that this can keep, going up is always a risk, but I really didn't need to sell when I did, and this is why I need to take my emotions out of it because this was great. Like this is a great short, considering this breakdown, and this would have been another solid win if I held. But something about I think the loss on Friday is still stinging. But I need to like I've fixed risk now. I have nothing to really worry about. How often I'm really losing on my trades is is not that often. So I should be comfortable with it, and just keep playing my game. But yeah, I took a small loss. Was short 619. It started coming above 619, and I got nervous. It would jump up high. So 644. I covered for a loss. Um, Next we traded NEHC. You'll see for these the yearly charts aren't looking super bullish. NEHC set pre-market resistance at zero point 0.6. I was looking above zero point 0.6 to take my short, as I've been seeing that more often. Got in at 6.4 and got out one ATR lower, so zero point 0.56, and got a nice little gain there. It was a little bit more than one ATR. I was kind of holding a little bit, but yeah. SYTA, you'll notice with like all these trades, like I'm very patient, which I'm happy about. So you'll see SYTA, I delayed this entry because it wasn't showing resistance yet. It kept kind of steadily going up, and then it showed resistance at this point. Whereas I feel like if this was just one ATR higher, I would just take the short here. But there's no reason to until that it shows that it's not going higher, right? So decreasing volume, lower length of candles are signals that momentum's slowing. So took this short at looks like 365 here. One ATR was just about at VWAP. I think it was like 348, and I had at this point when market opens, I have hard orders set. So as soon as it flushed down, it took me out of my position. So I might make a little update where instead of risking $150 on my first entry to make 37.50, I might try and make $70 and risk say like 125 or 120. Um, there isn't really any reason for me on my first entry to risk so much, if I'm being patient like I am here. Um, of course, I could do like the entry two sort of size instead. So I might just do that, but I might adjust the stop loss to be a little tighter and the take profit to be a little bit tighter for that. Right now it's 2 to 3 risk to reward, or sorry, reward. Hold on, 3-2 risk reward. And I might make it like 1.5, or 2 and 1.5, something like that. Um, because I think a reward of 2 ATRs is a little bit high. So I might adjust that to 1.5 with a tighter risk. And for my last entry, I might do the full 2 ATRs. But again, I have to kind of, play the setups, right? If it's breaking out, right, it sets its resistance and breaks out, and I take the short here, I can risk more, especially if I have a feeling that volume is topping out. Um, it's hard to forecast what volume will do throughout the day, but that's why just looking at float and looking at the volume according to the float is important. But yeah, like I for all of these, like I don't think I entered more than once, which oh, we had another one, WETO. This one I think I did enter more twice. So and I was almost gonna fire for a third time, but was just worried it was gonna make another leg up because of the price action I was seeing at this candle, but it ended up breaking down. So this one Took my short at 378. I covered some at this 1 ATR because I was thinking it would go lower. It didn't. It ended up climbing up again. And then at this point, I take my 2 entry setup. So, of course, in these situations, it could keep going up. But I was watching my risk. It never exceeded my risk, right? And I was thinking about doing my 3rd entry ad here, but I was worried it was going to go higher, and I was still playing a little patient. Um, this one ended up cracking. Sold some here. Oops. Um, Sold some here. Then took off the rest of the position here for a gain of $100. So 417. I think my average cost after this entry was like 4.3. So obviously I had more size here, and then my risk was a lot higher, of course, with entry 1, entry 2. The ATR on this was pretty high, but we'll see here volume peaks out at this point. So could have hit that 3rd entry, but of course there's risk here. You see the float is 5 million, and we traded looks like a million two shares here. So it's risky, if it keeps getting bought up, which is what I was seeing. I saw that 5.3 was 5. I'd say was holding. And in case this kept going higher, I was just kind of waiting for that reversal. Eventually it happened here, and then obviously, like, once this kind of crack happens, you could play the retest or the head and shoulders at this peak or this peak. I was thinking about getting in here, but I ended up not getting in. So overall, like, good trading day. This is the only one where I was in for 2 entries, and I was thinking about firing a 3rd bullet, but felt a little risky, just considering the price action I was seeing. Obviously, when there's not clean price action and I'm wrong, I have to be even more patient. So I think I'm becoming a little hesitant to not fire. I need to just stick to it. But yeah, I'm still like testing out this kind of risk management setup, and I want to keep kind of collecting data to see if what I'm doing is optimal or not. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a good trading day or had a good trading day, and peace.